Adventures in the treehouse. Once upon a time, nestled deep within a dense, whispering forest, there stood a small, ivy-covered cottage. This was the home of Alara, a young girl of 16, and her younger brother, Finn, who was just 10. Their parents had passed away when Finn was only a baby, leaving Alara to care for him. The cottage, though humble, was filled with love and the warmth of their shared memories. Alara was a girl of quiet strength, her eyes reflecting the resilience of someone who had learned to shoulder burdens far beyond her years. Finn, on the other hand, was a bundle of energy and curiosity, his laughter often echoing through the trees like the song of a carefree bird. Together, they made the best of their solitary life, finding joy in the simple pleasures, like the golden light of dawn filtering through the trees or the sound of rain tapping gently on the roof. But as the years passed, Alara began to feel the weight of her responsibilities pressing down on her. She missed her parents terribly, especially her mother, whose gentle voice and soothing touch she could barely remember. At night, when Finn was asleep, she would sit by the window, staring at the stars, wondering if her parents were watching over them. She longed for someone to share her fears and dreams with, someone who could tell her that everything would be all right. One crisp autumn evening, as the leaves turned to shades of amber and crimson, Finn came running into the cottage, his cheeks flushed with excitement. Alara, Alara, come quick. There's a deer in the clearing, he exclaimed, tugging at her hand. Alara smiled, allowing herself to be pulled outside. The forest was bathed in the soft glow of twilight. And sure enough, a graceful doe stood at the edge of the clearing, her eyes gentle and trusting. Finn watched in awe, his small hand clutching Alara's tightly. For a moment, the world felt still, as if time itself had paused to let them savor the beauty of the moment. But as the days grew shorter and the nights colder, Alara noticed a change in Finn. He became quieter, his laughter less frequent. One night, as they sat by the fire, Finn looked up at her with wide, worried eyes. Alara, he whispered, do you think we'll always be alone? Alara's heart ached at his words. She knelt beside him, brushing a strand of hair from his forehead. But as we have each other, Finn, she said softly. And as long as we do, we're never truly alone. Yet, deep down, she couldn't shake the feeling of loneliness that gnawed at her. She missed the comfort of a parent's embrace, the reassurance that someone would always be there to guide them. One night, overwhelmed by her emotions, she slipped out of the cottage and wandered into the forest, tears streaming down her face. The moon cast a silvery light on the path before her, and the trees seemed to whisper words of comfort. She found herself at the edge of a small, shimmering lake, its surface reflecting the stars above. As she sat by the water, she felt a presence beside her. Turning, she saw the doe from the clearing, her eyes filled with a strange, knowing warmth. Alara reached out, her fingers trembling, and the doe nuzzled her hand gently. In that moment, she felt a surge of peace, as if her parents' love was reaching out to her through the creature. She realized then that they were never truly gone. Their love lived on in the beauty of the world around her, in the bond she shared with Finn, and in the quiet strength she carried within herself. When she returned to the cottage, Finn was waiting for her, his face pale with worry. I thought you left me, he said, his voice trembling. Alara knelt and pulled him into a tight embrace. I'll never leave you, Finn, she whispered. We're in this together. Always. We're in this together. Always. From that night on, Alara carried the memory of the doe in her heart. A reminder that even in the darkest moments, love and hope could be found. And though their life in the cottage was simple, it was filled with a quiet, enduring beauty, a testament to the unbreakable bond between a sister and her brother, and the strength they found in each other. To add more fun to their lives, Alara and Finn often engaged in playful activities. They would explore the forest, pretending to be brave adventurers on a quest to find hidden treasures. Finn loved to climb trees, and Alara would cheer him on from below, her heart swelling with pride as he reached new heights. They would gather wild berries and mushrooms, laughing as they tried to outdo each other in finding the biggest and juiciest ones. One sunny afternoon, they decided to build a treehouse. Using scraps of wood and old tools they found in the shed, they worked tirelessly, their laughter echoing through the forest. Finn, with his boundless energy, would run back and forth, fetching nails and planks, while Alara, with her steady hands, would hammer and saw. By the end of the day, they had a cozy little treehouse, complete with a rope ladder and a small window that looked out over the treetops. They spent many afternoons in their treehouse, sharing stories and dreams. Finn would imagine they were pirates, sailing the high seas in search of treasure, while Alara would play along, weaving tales of daring escapes and hidden gold. They would pack picnics and eat in their treehouse, the forest canopy providing a natural umbrella from the sun. As the seasons changed, so did their adventures. In the winter, they would build snowmen and have snowball fights, their laughter ringing out in the crisp, cold air. They would come inside, their cheeks rosy and their fingers numb, to warm themselves by the fire with cups of hot cocoa that Alara would make, just the way their mother used to. In the spring, they would plant a small garden behind the cottage, tending to it with care and watching as the first green shoots pushed through the soil. Finn loved to dig in the dirt, his hands soon covered in mud, while Alara would gently plant the seeds, her heart filled with hope for the future. Summer brought long, lazy days spent by the lake, where they would swim and splash in the cool water. Finn would challenge Alara to races, and though she always let him win, she would tease him mercilessly about his victory. They would lie on the grassy bank, drying off in the sun, and talk about their dreams. Finn wanted to be an explorer, traveling to far-off lands and discovering new things, while Alara dreamed of becoming a writer, capturing the beauty of their forest home in words. Through all their adventures, Alara and Finn grew closer, their bond unbreakable. They found joy in the simple things, in the beauty of nature, and in each other's company. And though their life in the cottage was simple, it was filled with love, laughter, and the promise of new adventures to come. And so, in their little cottage in the forest, Alara and Finn found not just a home, but a world of wonder and joy, a place where they could be themselves and where their hearts could soar. Together, they faced the challenges of life with courage and resilience, knowing that as long as they had each other, they could overcome anything. And in the quiet moments, when the world seemed still and the stars shone brightly above, they would remember their parents' love, a guiding light that would always be with them, no matter where life took them. And so,